everyone, my name is Grace Cisna. I'm the CPA on staff with ProjectionHub, and today I wanted to take a little time to walk you through our Professional Services Excel template. Our Professional Services Excel template is great for any sort of professional service organization, whether that's marketing or photography, maybe you're a consultant or a lawyer, real estate agent, whatever it might be. This is a great template for you. It's built to be pretty generic so that it can fit a variety of businesses. And along with that, I wanted to point out that if you need help filling out this template, or it mostly works for you, but you have a couple things that you need modified, we would be happy to modify it for you. Reach out to us at support@projectionhub.com, or you can click this button, which is on the top of most of the tabs here, and that'll lead you to a form where you can tell us what you need modified, and we'll be in touch shortly. So before we jump in, just a couple of details about this template. So like all of our ProjectionHub templates, it starts with some tabs in this light blue color, which are the input tabs, where you need to input data. And on those input tabs, we direct you to certain cells that are also in this light blue color that show you where to input data and what kind of data we need. So there's already example data in here, and that's mostly just to guide you on how to input data. It's not necessarily the recommendation or the standard or anything like that. It's just showing you we need a percent here or a dollar value here or just a number here. So diving right in. So the input assumptions tab is the tab where we collect most of the information for the balance sheet. We also collect your company name and the projection start date. And then we're going to collect any information about investment funds that either you or someone else are putting into your business. Inventory, if you carry any inventory. Accounts receivable, if that's something that applies to your business. And then your fixed assets, so any buildings, equipment, computers that you're going to be purchasing to start your business will go here, as well as any loans that you're taking out, whether that's for your building or just a small business loan, whatever it may be. So from this tab, our model is going to calculate depreciation expense for you for those fixed assets and also interest expense on your loans for you, so you don't have to worry about that. The next tab is the revenue and cost of sales tab. This is your revenue model. We start at the top by describing your customer base and showing how you attract customers. So there's two ways that the model takes into account for you to bring in new customers. The first of those is advertising. And we pull this advertising spending from the next tab, the other expenses tab, and use a cost to acquire a client to sort of boil down to first-time clients from advertising. And the other way you can attract clients is clients from word of mouth. So organic sources, Google searches, whatever that might be. Maybe that's unpaid blog posts or something like that. And so that'll get us down to the total number of first-time clients. And then from there, we're going to show the development of a regular client base. Now, if you're somebody who has, your services aren't required every month, more of a one-time thing, you can always set these numbers to be 0, number of first-time clients to become regular clients, and we won't show a recurring customer base. So this is just for professional service type firms that develop a recurring customer base over time. Once we set the number of regular clients and the number of new clients in a month, we move down to the different services that you provide. For each of those services, you've got a bunch of lines here to enter the different services. If you have more services than are available here, you can insert lines in here, or you can just sort of summarize the different service categories rather than typing out each individual service. So we have the number of clients who use this service every month, whether that be regular clients and first-time clients, and then average monthly revenue from service. So if it's just a one-time service and it all fits within a month, that would just be the total revenue. If it's a 2-month-long project, you would just divide that in half then. And then the average cost of labor for the project, and then average cost of materials. Whatever those labor and materials items might be, you can enter them there. The model then will calculate your services revenue and the cost of services for you based on the information you provide. And then we also include a box here for any other revenue that doesn't sort of fit into that service category. Whatever it may be, you can enter it here. Again, we keep it pretty generic so that it can fit a variety of different types of revenue. And we summarize total revenue and total cost of sales below. The next tab is the other expenses tab. So this is all of your operating expenses that don't fall into that cost of sales category and aren't salaries for your employees, because those are both taken care of on other tabs. So for the operating expenses, you can enter up to 20 expenses here. You'll note that the advertising is fixed in place because that one is used on the revenue and cost of sales tab. to calculate your clients from paid advertising. And then beneath that, you could enter all of your different expenses or categories of expenses. You can pick the category then here. The only place this category is used is on the investor dashboard, which I'll get to at the end. So it's not a critical category there. And then you're going to enter your monthly expenses here. Note that you're allowed to break these out for the first 3 months individually, and then from there, you're just going to be setting that monthly expense, but it's going to be used for months 4 through 12, and then for every month in year 2, every month in year 3, etc. We break out the first 3 months individually to capture any of those startup expenses, like legal expenses and stuff that happen only really in the first couple months of business. And then after that, we're going to assume that your expenses stay relatively stable for the remainder of the time. Note there's 2 different ways to calculate operating expenses. You can either calculate the expenses using a fixed format, which we do here in Computer Services. So it's just going to show up as this amount, $20 every month for months 4 through 12. If we look at the example I have highlighted here. And the other way you can calculate expenses is as a percentage of revenue. And you can calculate expenses as a percentage of your total revenue or of the 2 different types of revenue that make up total revenue, services revenue and other revenue. And as a percentage of total revenue, you enter a percent. In this case, for credit card fees, it's 2%, denoted as 0.02, as you can see in the instructions here. And this credit card fees is going to be calculated as 2% of your revenue. So it's going to do a little math for you and calculate that out. So that's a different way to calculate expenses there. We also take in the income tax rate down below. The next tab is the input salaries and owner draw. So salaries can be entered here, all of your salaried employees, their name, their salary, any taxes and benefits associated with them, starting and ending month, just in case somebody's not going to be starting right at the beginning of business, or you plan on only hiring somebody for a year, whatever it may be. And then you can enter duplicate employees or triplicate just by multiplying this number here. And they have an annual raise percentage. And then owner draw, also called dividends. If you're the owner of the business and you plan to just pull funds out of the business that way rather than pay yourself a salary, this is where you would enter it here. So those are all of our input tabs. And once you have all those filled out, these output tabs in green are going to be updated for you based on the information you provide. So the first tab is the At a Glance tab. It has lots of nice graphs and charts, which are ready to be pulled out into a pitch deck if you're pitching to investors. Or they're also just handy for summarizing the information. So we've got some summarized financials, some key ratios, break-even analysis, and some nice pie charts to show how you're using funds and paying expenses. The next 3 tabs are the financial statement summaries. So these show the financial statements for the end of each of the years, the 5 years in the financial model. We have the income statement, the cash flow statement, which is really similar to the income statement, minus a few adjustments, such as funds from investments and fixed assets. And then the balance sheet. Note on our balance sheet, these are always going to balance. That's one of the main issues that I come across when we have people trying to create their own financial projections, is it's really hard to get your balance sheet to balance without plugging something. Ours, all the calculations are balanced for you, so you don't have to worry about that. It's always going to end up balanced. And then after those income statement or financial statement summaries, we have the financial statements, but broken out every month for the 5 years. So again, we've got the income statement here, broken out for every month, the statement of cash flows, the same format, and the balance sheet in every month. So if your bank needs a month-to-month projection when you're looking to get a loan, we've got that here, as well as those financial statement summaries. The last tab I want to jump over to is the Investor Dashboard. So the Investor Dashboard is a new addition for any of our version 2 templates. And what the Investor Dashboard enables you to do is modify some of the major assumptions of the revenue model from the Revenue and Cost of Sales tab, and see how that'll affect your income statement. So this is great if you want to try out different scenarios, or if you're working with an investor and they want to try out different scenarios without modifying everything that you have already set in your model. So we've pulled forward some of the major assumptions, like individual first-time clients and regular clients, average spend per first-time and regular client, other revenue, your year 1 revenue, and then all of your expenses are pulled out based on a percentage of revenue. So once these items in blue are modified, you'll see the modified income statement here below will be different from the original income statement, which is just the summarized version of the income statement summary, with these categories here from the other expenses tab. So that way you'll be able to see the differences between your original income statement and the modified income statement. So that can show you how sensitive your financial statements are to some of these various assumptions. So that is a brief overview of our professional services Excel template. Again, feel free to reach out to us if you need help filling this out, or you need it modified, or you need any other sort of financial statement projection services. We'd be happy to provide those.